You sure you want to do this, T-Rex? You sure? It's pretty chilly. It's low tide. It says 30 degrees here, and it actually has a forecast of light snow. I think that might be right. The barometer is still wrong at 30.18. High barometer cold. Whoa. Doing its magic today. So it's almost 8. I've been up since shortly after 5. Like a kid in a weather candy store. There is just so much weather. I'd say the biggest ticket item is the shape of the jet stream and the surface analysis with monster storms out over the Atlantic Ocean all lined up. It's been snowing like crazy in England and Ireland and France the last few days, and more of that is on the way. Kind of interesting on the satellite, you can make out the shape of where the sunlight is here early on our December 11th. I love this Zoom Earth satellite image. All right, now let's close in on New England. One of the first things I noticed this morning was it was very windy at my house. I love to go to the top of Mount Washington where it is not windy at all. 11 miles per hour from the southwest. How is it that I have this very strong wind from the north and there's such light wind from the opposite direction on Mount Washington? Well, we talk about it a lot. High barometer cold. Cold air is very dense. This is as dense and strong a high pressure system as we get usually this time of year. And that heavier cold air drains down from the higher elevations in central and northern New England. Central and northern, more specifically New Hampshire and Maine. And we have a meso high pressure system on the Maine coast this morning. As a matter of fact, Dave Hayes in Western Massachusetts on Twitter showed me that this meso high pressure system, also you could consider it cold air damming, goes all the way down to Florida. And if we went the other way, we could probably draw it from Iceland and Greenland. You want to go back in, Rex? All right, I'll let you in because you don't have a million layers on. Yeah, you just sit in there. I'm going back out the door. I'm going to go down to the edge of the garden here where I did churn up some worms yesterday. Where do they go? A little ice in that bucket now. You know, it did snow here last night and the ground was turning white during the evening. And then it stopped and it melted. And since then it's gotten cold and it's not snowing. It's snowing down near the Cape Cod Canal. Ocean effect snow is very much a challenge to predict. First of all, this meso high pressure system, very cold but dry air coming down from the coast of Maine and the teens into New Hampshire. And Pete in Cape Ann says, well, why isn't ocean effect snowing here? Well, I said, well, the winds are on directions from the north instead of off the water. He said, no, it's not. It's from the east. So it is coming in off the water. I said, okay, well, then you just got screwed. No, what a wisecracker. It is, I think, to do with the dry air and also the shape of the land. So if you have a north wind coming down the coast and then you have an east wind over the water and you see the shape of Cape Cod Bay, I think that there's some orographic influence causing convergence near the surface. So that's an answer to that. Anyhow, that's all right, the current analysis. Now let's go to the future. There's a clipper. Why do they call them clippers anyway? It's originally called an Alberta clipper because they come out of the southern prairies of Canada and the northern plains of the United States, and they kind of clip along like a clipper ship, kind of going slow and steady, delivering a little bit of snow or rain near the shore. And then they can start to intensify when they get near the ocean and then really take off over the ocean. And that's exactly what's going to happen here. Today we get clipped by maybe a few inches of snow in the higher elevations, very low density snow, as that's sort of a warm front trying to run into this cold. So it's going to try and wring out as much snow as it can. I do think there'll be some surprises in the accumulation on the colder side of this front. Maybe Worcester County or so, somewhere in here. Maybe my house. I'm not sure about that. It's funny how the gulls always come over and watch me do my out the door, isn't it? So they point into the wind. You can tell the wind's from the east-northeast here. All right, so that's stage one of winterization of New England. It always happens this way, too. Before our big storms, you get the cold comes in, you get a little bit of snow, the ground gets cold, and then that sets the stage for a much bigger storm. But before that happens, this clipper does turn into a monster storm over the Atlantic Ocean. And it moves north into southeastern Canada. We've been talking about this for a couple of days, and it bombs out, and then it kind of takes a swing at us on Tuesday night, maybe with some snow showers, with very cold air aloft coming in. That's the opposite of this high barometer cold. Low barometer cold on Mount Washington will be sub-zero on Tuesday morning, but that goes in and out so quickly. And what we feared yesterday, that could leave an imprint deflecting the next storm off to the south. Well, the models have said, forget about that. The GFS that had the storm late in the week disappearing, it's back, and the euro is back to where it was 3 days ago. Not that the euro is a pillar of stability, but it is more reliable, I think. So here is the euro forecast. Monster storm coming out of the west. Wait, hold on, Tim. Show the snow from the west. The Sierra Snow Lab near Truckee. 4 to 5 inches per hour yesterday. Going for the record of snowiest December set way back in 2021. And also Leavenworth, Washington. Do you want to go here for your Christmas vacation? That was the tweet of the night as far as I was concerned. All right, back to that storm crossing the nation. Severe weather outbreak in the deep south on Tuesday. That storm is coming along, and it's going to break into pieces. The primary low tries to go into the Great Lakes states. Makes good sense, but with a block, it's going to have a redevelopment somewhere near New Jersey and Long Island, and that storm is going to still, looks like it wants to do a loop. So with snow arriving here about Thursday night, well, rain at my house, but snow in the higher elevations west and north in New York and in western Massachusetts, Vermont, New Hampshire, and Maine, except for on the coast. It comes in Thursday night, and it's raging on Friday. And Friday night, there's the loop, and it just slowly eases out Friday night, Saturday. Places like Jay Peak may actually snow Thursday night, Friday, Saturday into Sunday. So several days of snow where there is a front side and the back side upslope. And that results in Vermonster Mitch in southern Vermont in a 2 to 3 foot zone. You can't really take these numbers verbatim, but you get the point. There are going to be some deep amounts, sort of like Mike Masco was talking about a couple days ago when he's talking about that analogy to 2003, what happened here December 6, 7, 2003, when we had several feet of snow and real strong wind. You get a barometer going that low down below 980 millibars, and there's going to be a lot of wind and dynamics, and what an interesting week. I'm sure I didn't cover everything I wanted to cover. There's so much going on. Winter has a grip now on North America and much of Europe, so it's a full-on press. And Christmas time, there could be a warm storm trying to run at us. Late in the 10-day there's something going off the southeastern United States. Maybe that'll take a left and come up here. A couple of the runs actually had that thing going through the Midwest, so plenty of action, but it looks pretty favorable for a white Christmas for most of New England. I chased some snow yesterday. I know I was battling the wind in Hingham, went down to the beach, and then went over to the beach in Hull. I'll leave you with some of that from yesterday. Yeah, sure, you want to go back out. Steve's heading for the hills. So how many layers do I put on for this thing? I got on 3 layers up top, and I do have pajamas with long johns underneath there. And now I go and listen to Casey Kasem and edit out the door. Rex, we're not going out the door again. We just went out. A few snowflakes today. Thought I'd come out and do a checkup on the worm farm on this snowy December 10. Looks pretty good. What do they do during the really cold? Do they go down farther? What are you guys gonna do? You'd be okay, right? Somehow, every spring, they're still there. Good stuff. Waves of snow. I can see one coming across the water now. That's how it works. These intermittent, mostly light snow, but visibility is going down. Seems like not too long ago, we were out on the water playing around. Sees this fly at us in the snow coming down here on the waterfront in Hingham. Visibility's down again. Less than a mile. It means if it was a little colder, it could be accumulating. Enough. So it's harder, it will accumulate. looks like and feels like, but is not a nor'easter. Maybe next week for that. Although we have a close swipe here again Tuesday night. Pretty much freezing, so I'm putting my gloves on now. Why not? It was so nice here just a couple of months ago. Actually, 4 weeks ago, it was 77 degrees, wasn't it? Quahogs for lunch, anybody? How does a seagull catch a quahog, really? I was thinking about doing a surf cast or a snow cast, but my battery's about to die and it's too windy, so let's just take it in. Hull on a high barometer nor'easter. Little bits of ice coming out of the ocean actually hurt the eyes right now. Hi. Hi. Oh, hi. That's actually snow melting on the windshield. Windshield wiper effect. We talked about that today. Dave Hayes said that Bernie Rayo talks about the windshield wiper effect. The models go back and forth, back and forth. First the storm's gonna hit, then the storm's not gonna hit, then the storm's gonna hit, not, yes, no, yes, no, yes.